my name is Jackie Cops. I am the teacher, author, blogger behind Pocket of Preschool, and we are going to chat all about teaching compound words to little learners. So what is a compound word? So a compound word is a word that has two smaller words in it. So, oh my gosh, these are all, I have some cards over here because you know, you have to have visuals for littles. So, a compound word is a word that has two smaller words in it. So, for example, rainbow is made up of rain and bow, and so rainbow is made up of the word rain and bow, and you put it together and you get rainbow. So, a compound word is a word that has two smaller words in it. So, we have to teach little learners how to break the word apart. So that would be segmenting. So when you break a word apart, you are segmenting it. You're making it like into different sections. So that's trickier, but the easier, the skill that we want to teach first is blending. So we would give the kids give the kids the two words, and we would make the one word. So we would say, if you have the word rain and bow, if you put them together, what word do you get? Rain, bow, rainbow, right? So it's a great phonological awareness skill because we have to have strong phonological awareness skills in order for our little learners to be able to read when they go to kindergarten and first grade. Phonological awareness is the big umbrella, right? With all of these skills underneath it. So phonemic awareness is in the phonological awareness umbrella. So phonemic awareness is more about those specific sounds, isolating, manipulating, blending, and segmenting, like beginning sounds, things like that. And then the parts like compound words, syllables, onset rhyme, rhyming, alliteration, all of that is under the phonological awareness umbrella as well. So they need to have all of these skills super, super strong in order for them to be able to read and write, right? So this is one of my flip books. So we have flip books in my curriculum. They are quick 5-minute activities that you can do at the end, beginning of circle. Maybe you have a quick 5 minutes during the day, but it's a quick oral language activity. So it has definitions, some teacher help for you, but literally it gives you a script on what to say, and you can practice compound words just out loud or like orally. You don't have any pictures. So it would just be compound words, and it literally has a script that you'll tell your kiddos because sometimes we have teacher brains, right? And we just need some of it kind of given to us. So compound words are two smaller words that make up one bigger word. Are you ready to practice compound words with me? And you would literally be saying this to your students. And then it says, there's 3 different parts. And again, this is a quick 5 minutes. So you blend, then you segment, and then you add words. So it literally tells you, I will say 2 words and you will blend the 2 words together and tell me the big word they make. Star, fish, starfish. Jelly, bean, and the students will say jelly bean. Moonlight, and the students will say moonlight. Now, you can also model adding movement. So you can say star, fish, starfish. Jelly, bean, and the students will say jelly bean. Moonlight, students will say moonlight. Toothbrush, students say toothbrush. Firefly, and the students say firefly. Literally, the words, you don't have to think of them, or they're right here. Teacher says, student says, and then you say, this time I'm gonna tell you the compound word, and then repeat the compound word back to me and break it into 2 words this time. Are you ready? And we're gonna do the hand movements again. So we're gonna do watermelon, watermelon. So the students would say it with you. So you'd say watermelon, and then all together, watermelon, watermelon, butterfly, and everybody would go, butterfly, butterfly. Pancake, everybody would go, pancake, pancake. Seashell, everybody, seashell, seashell. Piggy bank, piggy bank, piggy bank. And now you're going to add a word. I'm gonna say a word, and you're gonna add the word fish to the end. Now, this part, if you teach 3s or early pre-K, this may be too tricky, so you can leave this part out and you can literally do 1 page a day until you get all the way to the end. And then once your kiddo build a lot more phonological awareness skills, you can actually do the whole flip book again, like during the second semester, and then you'll be able to do the adding and deleting word section at the bottom. If you teach kinder or TK, you'll be able probably to do that ending section. But again, you know your kiddos. If they're struggling, skip it. We'll just work on the basics of compound words first. So I showed you guys some movement. So when you're teaching literacy, we want to add movements, because the more we move, the more connections that the students are making in the brain, the stronger those connections are, and that's more likely that that skill will stick. So when you do compound words, you can do a whole bunch of different movements. The simplest one is rainbow, rainbow, or if you're going to segment the word, rainbow, rainbow. Now you can also do it with your feet. So, and the students can be sitting. I'm gonna pretend like I'm sitting. Oh gosh, here. Oh, scooted you guys. Okay, so pretend like I'm sitting crisscross or at the circle, and they would say rainbow, rainbow. And then you guys could do, sorry. So rainbow, and they would stomp, rainbow. Or you could say, put the two words together, rain and bow, rainbow, rainbow. Or they could get up and they could, oh, I scooted you guys again. Or you guys could have your students get up on their feet and they could stomp, rainbow, and then jump together, rainbow. Okay? And then you could segment it so they would jump and then step, or rainbow. Rainbow, rainbow. Right? We get it. Again, adding those movements, making more connections in the brain, making stronger connections. And when you add movement, you get more engagement, because kids need to move and learn at the same time. So that's a lot of fun. So the compound word flip book is in my store. Now, I have a brand new compound word bundle. If you have it, go download it in, because all of the units are there, and I want to walk you through all of the units that we have included. So there is segmenting and blending. Remember, and it goes through it, when you give them two words and you blend them together, that is the easier skill. So you want to do blending first. So let me show you what I got. Okay. So kids love puzzles, right? So we have compound word puzzles, and there's binder covers and labels for you guys, or like little dividers, whatever you guys want to do. Or you can put this like on the outside of the baggie, or however you store it, whatever kind of container you use, and then a little label if you want to use that too. Now, there is a ton of them included, like tons of them. You would not put out all of them at the same time. Puzzles are great, these especially, because you can put them in a pocket chart. I just want to show you some of them. So again, we are blending. So jelly and beans would be jelly beans. Stuck together on me. Toolbox, toolbox. Let me get this out of the way. Cup, cake, cupcake. Snowman, snowman. Now, I know you're thinking there's probably not that many compound words. We came up, I think, with 65 different compound words with clip art that littles can read. So you have a ton of options. Again, don't put all of these out at one time. You can put out half now, half later, and switch them out as they're working through them. They do have a little bit of a different cut. Oops, let me put it up here. So you can see like skateboard, skateboard. So you can see how they're a little bit different. I think there's 4 different cuts to them, or I guess like a little pattern. So that way it's a little bit of a self-check. Obviously, if there's a bazillion of them in there, we can't have all of them be self-check. So blueberries. Again, we came up with 60, whatever it is, 62 or something, a lot. So these are great again, because what you could do is you could put this part in your pocket chart, all the way down, And then you can put these at the bottom and they would just, oh, wheelchair. Let me show you some of the other ones. Butterfly. Keyboard. Now you'll notice some of them have a word that repeats a lot. Box repeats a lot, board, house, dog, house. Ball repeats a lot, baseball, there's basketball, baseball, a whole bunch of different ones. And again, that way, when you have these compound word activities out, they're not always doing the same, 20 words, because then they can probably almost memorize how to segment them and blend them up. So we wanna keep them on their toes. And again, there's a ton. Hot dog, bluebird, tons and tons and tons. Okay, and again, just put this in a pocket chart or put it out in the center. But again, there's like a ton of puzzles. Don't put all of them out at once. That'll be way too overwhelming for your kiddos. You can also make a lot of these into a pocket chart game, or file folder game. So you would put these in your file folder long ways. You would put 3 of them, and then you would have Velcro dots for the answers. And then that's another reason why these are on here, so you could put these on the outside of a file folder game. So that way you would know what skill you are working on and what activities inside. Another one that students love and I love because it is fine motor, and I'm sure you may have guessed it, would be clip cards. And you guys, I'm telling you, look how, it's like pages and pages and pages of different compound words. Peanut, and then they would clip it. Peanut. Cookbook. Haircut. Honeybee. And again, there's a bazillion in here, like so many. So don't put all of them out at once. Put some of them out and then switch them out as you're using them. Make some of them into a center game, some of them into a file folder game. Again, there's labels at the bottom. There's also teacher direction pages that explains, gives you some definitions of what blending, if this is a blending activity, if it's a segmenting activity, because sometimes our teacher brains they get tired, right? So that's all in there for you. This one is really fun. So this one is a little bit trickier. Oh, and the video's backwards. Sorry. So this one is their blending matchups. Now this one has different labels. So either you can put them all in one baggie, or if you wanted to do file folder games or like labeled baggies, there's one for each activity, because there's 3 different ones in this one. Whew. So they're going to take the 2 words, and again, we're blending them together. Gumball. Butterfly. Scarecrow. And so you see we made a little plant. Fireman, and then there's some more like starfish, honeybee, cheeseburger, ladybug. This one also has, again, more. So that's the one activity in it. Again, we are matching them. You can make this into a file game, or you guys can play this just in a pocket chart or as your center activity. Again, put some of the game in there, or like you can put half of the cards in there, or all of them. Again, a lot of this is gonna depend on the age of your students. If you have 3s or 4s, or if you're teaching TK or kindergarten, you're gonna be able to put out either some of them, half of them, or maybe all of them. And also, are you teaching this at the beginning of the year? Because you're gonna need to have less out, or if it's at the end of the year, you'll be able to have more out. The other one in this blending is trains, because students love trains. So they're just gonna put them together. So dragonfly, goldfish, cowgirl, horseshoe. So So again, we're taking the two words, we're blending them together to make a new one. And again, there's a bunch included. So, and there's two different colors of train. So we got, you can see we have the yellow and green train, and then we also have like a purple and pink train. Again, trying to do a little bit of self-check, but not completely. Because when you have this many puzzles, it's tricky to do all of them self-check. If you want to make everything self-check, what you can do is put two different stickers on the back, and you can make them self-check that way. So this one again has the train blending puzzles, the plant, and you could either call these ice cream or ice cream cups or cupcakes. Probably depends on how you look at it, right? It's either all vanilla ice cream or all vanilla cupcakes. So again, we're blending. Lunch box, track, race, track, racetrack. Honeycomb, honeycomb. Peanut, peanut. Tea bag, or sorry, teapot, teapot. Snowman, bluebird, basketball, treehouse. And again, you can do these as a center activity in a pocket chart. You can make these in a file folder games by just having this bottom part on the file folder, and they have to stick the little cups on. And again, there's even more included, you guys. Look how many awesome compound words we thought of. Brainstorm, I mean, so fun. Haircut, teaspoons, so much fun. And I feel like compound word activity is a great, again, it's a super great way to build that phonological awareness skills. So fun. All right, you ready for some more? So those were blending. Again, that's easier to do. So now these are some segmenting activities. So I showed you these at the beginning, but these are compound word chains. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna have these chains out. And you can have your students match the colors or not, but on there, there's little dots, so you can hole punch the holes. So that way you have it. Sunglasses. That way you're not just like randomly punching holes and all the things. If you're anything like me, you'll punch them on the wrong side because we don't need one on this side of bow. Where's glasses? So we have sunglasses, and look at this. Great fine motor, hand-eye coordination as they are creating these great compound words. Then we have fishbowl, so fish, and then there it is, bowl. And again, this comes with a ton of them, like so many. So pick the ones you want to use, and it has labels. So you can either make some file folder games with them, you can do some of the center activity, you can kind of switch them out. So that way, uh-oh, I put it on the same thing. That's not going to work. All right. And you don't need a lot of chains, just to, enough to go with the puzzles. I made the puzzles the same colors as the typical chains that are included usually in like the math manipulative pack. So if you wanted them to match colors, you can. So here we go. So we have fishbowl, fish, and bowl. So fun, right? Like so much fun. And again, there's a ton. So as soon as you're like, they have these, then switch them out and put some different ones out, because again, we don't want them memorizing things. We want them exploring, manipulating, and having fun with words to build those phonological awareness skills. Like, oh, that one broke. So much fun. Didn't break, the chain broke. All right, so that is one segmenting activity, because remember, segment means to break them into like almost sections or segments. These are puzzles, and again, look, so many. So again, please don't put all these out at once. Comes with your cover and labels and whole bunch, like so many, like pages and pages. So let me show you what these look like. So these are a 3-piece puzzle. Remember, we're starting with the big word and we're gonna segment it. So we're going to break it apart. So spaceship, oops, move it back. Skateboard, skate, and board. And again, they do have some different little patterns at the bottom. So that way, we would start with these, right? So the kiddos, if you were having this out in the center, you could have these out on the floor, and then they would have to match them up. Blueberries, and they would find blue and berries, dragonfly, dragon and fly. I also have jellyfish up here. And again, you could have all of these in one pile, all the pieces, and you could have all of the small words in one side and or even in like one basket, and have the big word in another basket. So that way, when they go to clean up, it's super simple, and it's mixed up for the next person. So fun, because kids love puzzles. And the last one, so just like with the blending matchups, we have some segmenting matchups. Now these are, we have a treasure, and we have a truck, and we have popcorn. So, and again, we have the general labels, or if you want to make file folder games or label your individual bags of the activities, there are those included as well. Because we only want to print and prep things one time, right? And that way, if you lose one piece, you can just print that one. We don't want to like print and prep it every single year, right? So here are the trucks. And again, you can have, I'm gonna not mix them up so that way it's faster for me to show you the activity. So again, we have our trucks, and again, you can have, there's more included, but you know your kiddos. Do you only wanna have out 4? This is also, a lot of these little ones, if you just wanna like do a little quick refresh before, like during circle time whole group, you could maybe just do 4 and put them in your pocket chart and say, cheeseburger, what 2 words make a cheeseburger? And they would go, cheeseburger. And then you guys could say, okay, let's move it. Cheeseburger, cheeseburger. Or you could do it with your feet. Cheeseburger, cheeseburger. Or you could say, everybody get up. Let's jump it. Ready? Cheeseburger, cheeseburger. Right? And then you're gonna put your cheeseburger rocks in your dump truck. So we have cheeseburger, cheeseburger. And you would say basketball. What 2 words make basketball? And they would say basket and ball. And you could say, okay, let's move it. Basketball, basketball. And again, you don't have to do the whole game. You can just do 4 at circle. You can say, look, basketball. Okay, ready? Let's move it. Ready? Basketball, basketball. And then you say, okay, fireman. Ready? Let's move it. Fireman, fireman. Okay, one more time. Let's do it. Ready? Fireman, fireman. And again, just having these visuals, so it breaks apart. And you can put them in your dump truck. And then starfish, starfish, starfish. And again, make a file folder activity with this, make a center activity. And there's more included. Oh, I printed one of those pages twice. All right, another one that we have are treasure boxes. Who doesn't love pirate treasure? Oh, I cut a whole bunch of these apart, looks like. So, we have pancake, and you say, okay, pancake, pancake, pancake. And then they would put their jewels in the treasure box to make pancake. Spaceship, spaceship, spaceship. Mailbox, mailbox, mailbox. Honeybee, honey, oh, honey bee. You can put it in the box. And again, there are more included, okay? So much fun. Again, we're trying to do this, we're trying to practice the same skill over and over and over again, because it depends. If they're 3, they're gonna need more practice. If they're in kinder, they may only need 1 week of practice. But a lot of times when I taught preschool, we'd have to do a skill, and it's just like anything else. You think they have it, so you're like, okay, we're gonna move on to another skill. And then you need to circle back, because sometimes it doesn't stick in their brain. It's just a new skill, but they don't all the way have it yet. So that's why it's really important to circle back. So again, making these activities that are non-theme related, so you can use them at circle time or small group, or have them out in your library center or literacy centers, and using them randomly throughout the year. Or maybe, the first week of every month, you're gonna have a new compound word activity out. And then maybe the second week you're gonna have a rhyme activity out, and then a third week you're gonna have syllables, and then the fourth week you're gonna do, you'll probably have letters out every week and beginning sounds out every week, or things that are related to your theme, but maybe you're gonna focus on one compound word or rhyme or syllables, whatever extra phonological awareness skill you're working on that. Again, we just need to keep circling back to make sure those skills stick and they don't jump out of their brains, because it's not all the way there. So the last one is popcorn. Again, there's a whole bunch included. So we have sunflower, sunflower. Stop doing it. Sunflower, sunflower. And then we have jelly beans, jelly beans, jelly beans, jelly beans. Butterfly, butterfly, butterfly. Toolbox, toolbox. And again, there's more included, because maybe they're like, oh, they have cupcake down, they have football down, but maybe you want to do some that are trickier and some that are easier. Now, the ones that typically for my kiddos, the ones where it's super simple vocabulary, those are the ones that are usually simpler. If it's something where the vocabulary words are a little bit tricky, like some students may not know that this is a sunflower, they may say this is a flower. So you may have to teach this vocabulary word so you can do the compound word activity. But again, there's some that are simple, like a cupcake, cake and cup, rainbow, rain and bow, cowboy, boy and cow, or cow and boy. And there's ones with a little bit trickier vocabulary. So pick the ones you think that work for your kiddos. Obviously, if you have kinder, they probably know most of these. But if you have 3s, they may not know some of these words. They may just be like new vocabulary words, like keyboard. They may not know, they may say like piano. So you have to kind of teach some of these vocabulary words a little bit too as you go if you have 3s and 4s. But that's okay, because that's why we're here, right? The bigger vocabulary they have, the more they're gonna explore language, and then the more they can explore those words, because once they know the word, then they can explore, break it apart, explore the sounds, talk about the beginning, the middle, and the end of the word, and all the different things, whether it's a compound word or just, a different word, and you're talking about a different skill. So a couple other things you can do if your students are kind of struggling. So I'm gonna get out these chains as kind of to use as an example, because if you take the chains off, these are great to use to teach compound words with other manipulatives. So I'm just gonna kind of group them so that way I can show you what I got. So we have fishbowl. So if your kids are really struggling with it, you can say, okay, we have fish and bowl, and you can use little magnet chips. You only need 2. So you can say fish, bowl, put them together, fish bowl. Because again, look, put the coins together, and you can try it again. Ready? Fish, or they can even put them on. Fish, bowl, put them together, fish bowl. Okay, another thing, so we have our magnet wand. Another thing you could do are cubes. So you have fish and you have bowl, and you put them together and make fishbowl. You could do this with any kind of linking cube. You could also use, where are they? You could also use just like the puzzles too, if you wanted to, with some of these activities. If your students are kind of struggling, they don't really understand compound words, they need a little bit more help with them, totally okay. So again, you can, hold on, I don't know where the end of that one is. So you can say, okay, so we have bird, house. We're gonna put them together to make birdhouse, right? We're gonna put these together to make one word. Again, I do like the little cards that are kind of separate, but if you want the ones where two of the two words are together and you can just focus on that, and then you can show this one at the end, you can also do like that, right? So we have bird, house, put them together and we get birdhouse. Or again, you can use your magnet chips, which kids love magnet chips. Fish bowl, fishbowl. Now, if you have upper grades, I'm talking like kindergarten, first, you could use simple words, and you can either have your students do it if you're like first grade, or if you are kinder, you can write it and kind of use it as an example. So you could say, okay, I have the word, I like to use these as a dry erase. So we have the word fish, and we have the word bowl. Obviously you would want to write on these before you do your group, because they're not going to wait for you to do all this. So you want to have this prepped before. And then what you'll have on the bottom, which I'm sure you guys have seen, this is kind of like a tried and true. I feel that's got like this is a compound word one activity that's been around forever. But you take fish and bowl and put them together and it makes fishbowl, right? So again, they're seeing how there's two words and it comes together to make one. Now, even if you teach TK, like pre-K, TK, kinder, even if they can't read all of the words, they can still see that one word and two words, we're putting them together to make one word. Sometimes it's just that visual that helps them. Obviously, if they're older, then they'll be able to read and write all the letters. But these are small. It's a lot of letters to write on there for a kindergartner, probably end of the year activity, or upper some of your upper level learners, so that have that great fine motor. So because we don't want to get them frustrated. But again, it's a great visual for your kiddos who may be a little bit stuck with compound words. So yeah, so that's all. Oh, I have a couple more. Sorry, I was gonna say I was done. I am not done. Okay, so we talked about how we kind of mix or blend them up. So I thought about using a blender, but the bottom of my blenders have blades in them, which not safe. So what I was gonna do, what you can do is say, okay, we're gonna blend, or we're gonna mix up some compound words. And you could say, okay, we're gonna take fish, and we're gonna take bowl, and we're gonna mix it up. Obviously you would have the big ones in the bottom. Right? And you could say, okay, what if you take fish and bowl and you mix them up or blend them together, hence the blender, you would get fish bowl. So you could say, okay, we're gonna take, again, it's just a fun visual. Fish and bowl, okay, we're gonna mix it up. Ready? Fish bowl, fish bowl. Let's see. Fish bowl. Okay, and then you could say, okay, this time we're gonna do piggy and bank. Okay, ready? And then you can hand it to a friend and say, okay. Obviously, you'd want to take the word out that you had before. So you can say, okay, we're going to take piggy and bank. Okay, you guys are going to blend them up. Are you guys ready? And then you can have somebody come up, one of your kiddos come up and blend them up. And you can say, okay, what do we have? Piggy bank. And your friend can go, oh my gosh, it's stuck. Piggy bank. Okay. And then you can say, okay, all right, ready for another one? Okay, we're going to do teaspoon. Okay, ready? Let's mix it up, blend it up. We're gonna blend these words together. Teaspoon. What do we get? Blend it up. Teaspoon. Okay, again, just super fun, trying to make it fun, trying to make it engaging. So yeah, so you can, obviously, I would love to use a blender, but blades at the bottom. Make it not safe for kids. So those are all of my compound word activities that I have for you. If you own the compound word bundle, all of the units have been added, so go download that. Again, they'll be available individually, like each of these compound word activities units will be available individually very soon. And then if you want the compound words flip book, and there's a whole series of flip books. There's one on like beginning sounds. There's one on just letter knowledge, beginning sounds. There's one on rhyme, syllables, compound words, blends, all kinds of things. So yeah, so these are great. And again, you can just get this one or get all of them, some of them, whatever you want to do. And there's also ways to differentiate in all of them, whether it's these or in the flip book. And again, you can always add some hands-on pieces to make any activity fun. So I hope you guys loved all of these activities. The links are where all the links are. And if you have questions, reach out to us via email or on social media, and we will talk to you guys soon. Bye.